Good afternoon, guys. Today's discussion is cognitive performance in midlife can predict frailty. So, here we go with the presentation I made for you. Sit back and enjoy, please. Reduced cognitive performance in, in late life, midlife, slower reaction times, and lower accuracy on specific tests was associated with higher frailty levels at baseline and some accuracy measures predicted how frailty changed over 17 years in a large Finnish birth cohort study. Key considerations, clarifying questions, and decision points. Key considerations when cognition was measured: late midlife, mean age 61.5 was measured, reaction time and response accuracy across cog state tasks, and how frailty was defined, a 41 item frailty index. Clarifying questions. Have you noticed slower responses, more small mistakes, reduced stigma, or more falls in the person you're worried about? Do you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or low activity? Decision points. Raise concerns with the primary care clinician. Request a brief cognitive screen and a frailty function check. Consider lifestyle and medical steps to reduce risk. Okay, here you go. Here's the narrative I made for y'all. A story of quiet signals. In a long-running study of people born in the same era and followed from late midlife into old age, researchers asked a simple question. Do small changes in thinking predict later physical vulnerability? Using computerized tests that measured reaction time and response accuracy, choice reaction time, working memory, divided attention, compared these midlife cognitive measures with a comprehensive 41 item frailty index, assessed up to 3 times over 17 years. The cohort included 1,279 participants with a mean baseline age of about 61.5 years. The results showed a consistent pattern. Slower reaction times were linked to higher frailty levels at baseline and and better response accuracy in certain domains. Was associated with lower frailty and with a slower increase in frailty over time. Effect sizes were um, modest but statistically significant. For example, each standard deviation slower reaction time corresponded to roughly a 1.2 to 1.7 fold higher frailty level, while each SD higher choice reaction accuracy related to about a 0.95 fold lower frailty level. Longitudinally higher accuracy predicted an annual frailty increase of about 0.97 fold per SD. Interpretation and why it matters. Frailty is a multi-system loss of reserve, not a single disease. Cognitive slowing and reduced accuracy in late midlife may be early measurable signs of the same vascular, metabolic, or inflammatory processes. That later erode physical resilience. These, these cognitive signals are not dementia. They are subtle changes that can flag higher long term risk and create an opportunity for prevention. Practical steps for families. Talk to the clinician. Ask for a brief cognitive screen and frailty function assessment. Address cardiometabolic risks. Control blood pressure, diabetes, and cholesterol. Promote activity and nutrition. Regular aerobic and resistance exercise. Balance training. Adequate protein and social engagement support both brain health and body. Medication review. Reduce sedating or anticholinergic drugs that impair cognition and function. Limitations. This observational and This is observational and based on a Finnish cohort. Associations do not prove causation and may not generalize everywhere. Republication and intervention trials are needed to show whether acting on midlife cognitive signals changes frailty outcomes. Reduced cognitive performance in late midlife, especially slower reaction times and lower response accuracy on specific tests, was associated with higher frailty levels at baseline, and some accuracy measures predicted frailty change over 17 years in a large Finnish birth cohort study. Quick guide. Key considerations. Clarifying questions, decision points. Key considerations. When cognition was measured, late midlife mean age was 61.5 years. What was measured? Reaction time and response accuracy across cog state tests. How frailty was quantified. 41 item frailty index and follow up length up to 17 years. Clarifying questions. Have you noticed slower responses, more small mistakes? Reduced stigma or more falls? Are there cardiometabolic risks? High blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, or sedating medications? Decision points. Raise concerns with the primary care clinicians. Request a brief cognitive screen and frailty function assessment. Consider lifestyle and medical steps to reduce risk. In many families, the first hints of aging are quiet, a missed step, a slower reply, a small mistake that wasn't there before. A recent longitudinal analysis asked whether those subtle cognitive changes in late midlife can foreshadow the broader vulnerability we call frailty in later years. Using data from the Helsinki birth cohort, participants was 1,279, age range 57 to 70. At baseline, researchers measured reaction time and response accuracy across 5 computerized tasks and tracked a 41 item frailty index up to 3 occasions across 17 years. The study found consistent links between slower reaction time and higher frailty levels at baseline in nearly all cognitive domains tested except simple reaction time response. Accuracy slowed, a more sensed pattern. Higher accuracy in choice, reaction time, and working memory was associated with lower frailty and accuracy rather than speed predicted. The rate at which frailty accumulated over time, quantitatively, each standard deviation slowed reaction time related to roughly 1.2 to 1.7 fold higher frailty level, while each SD higher choice reaction accuracy related to about 0.95 fold lower frailty level. Longitudinally higher accuracy predicted an annual frailty increase of about 0.97 fold per SD. Why might thinking speed and precision matter for physical resilience? Frailty reflects multi-system loss of reserve vascular health, inflammation, and metabolic control, and neural integrity all contribute. Slower processing may signal early vascular or metabolic changes. Accuracy may reflect pre-reserved neural circuitry and adaptability. This study also reported sex-specific patterns with some accuracy association stronger in women and others in men, suggesting different pathways or vulnerabilities. Implications and practical steps. Early detection, brief cognitive checks in midlife could flag people for preventative action. Actionable interventions. Prioritize cardio metabolic control, regular aerobic and resistance exercise, balanced training, nutrition, adequate protein, micronutrients, social engagement, and medication review to reduce sedating, anticholinergic burden. These are evidence-based strategies for reducing frailty risk, broadly interferes based based on clinical guidelines and the study's implications, limitations, and cautions. Observational design. Associations do not prove prove causation. Generalizability. Cohort is finished. Republication in diverse populations is needed. Bottom line, subtle declines in processing speed and accuracy in your late 50s, 60s can be an early warning sign of later frailty. Discussing these observations with a clinician and addressing cardiovascular lifestyle and medication factors offers a practical path to reduce future risk. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a little break and I'll be back on with B shortly. For now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.